And the last type of data visualization structure is textual. Visualization of textual data is one of the most important tasks in text mining. So what is text mining? Text mining is also called as text analytics, where this is a process of defining the high quality information from a text. So textual data comes from various document resources such as articles, books, publications, emails, blogs, tags, social networks, comments, and etc. So textual visualization is not in the form of direct text, but it is in the form of output of a language model, such as we can visualize the number of word count, the character length of a word, and also word sequences in a text. So why do we visualize textual data? So it helps us to gain new insights about textual data for some reasons. Okay, for example, we want to understand the general gist of broader themes of the text. And second is to discover patterns and data correlation that cannot be easily extracted by reading text word by word or text to text. And the third one is to cluster or group text for overview or classification purposes. And there are three types of textual visualization. The first one is word cloud, and then we have word trees, and also node link diagram. Okay, let's see the first type of textual representation. Okay, the first one is word cloud. So word cloud is relatively unsophisticated but effective, and size of word relates to prominence or salience. Prominence means the importance, okay, or to make a word noticeable, or something, or another adjective is to show that the word is famous. Okay, so prominence and salience mean the same thing. It shows the importance level of something. So in this case, we are talking about by looking at the size of the word. For example, in this word cloud based on coronavirus news headlines. Okay, so we can see that, okay, the most prominent word here is COVID. Okay, and then we can see probably lockdown, okay, case, Trump, pandemic, and death. Okay, so by the way, because you know you can see the word Trump, so this data is collected from the America. Okay, so it shows that the size of the word, okay, so it represents the prominence or the salience, okay, of a word from a text. So the word cloud depicts text arranged in space that is very in size, okay, color, and position, which is based on the tag frequency, categorization, or significance. Okay, and the characteristics of word cloud is that the color and position are arbitrary, meaning it's random. Arbitrary means it's random. And the font size is varied based on total word frequency. Okay, the bigger the size of the word, so it shows the higher the number of the word frequency from the text that we are referring to. Okay, so instead of representing, okay, the word cloud in a bar graph here, so it is more interesting if we represent, okay, the word numbers, okay, or the word frequency in the form of word cloud like this. So if we were to observe these two types of representation, okay, you can see that COVID is the highest number, okay, frequency of word, okay. So that's why COVID looks more appealing here in the word cloud. Okay, it looks more prominent here in this word cloud. Okay, and then followed by lockdown, and the third one is case, fourth one is Trump, and fifth one is death. Okay, but as you can see here, the color actually represent okay, the categorization of the word. Okay, so that's how, okay, we represent, okay, word cloud. Okay, there is a specific software to do this. Okay, you can find the software available from the internet. So as long as you have the text, okay, from any resources, okay, for example, from a speech, from social media, from comments and so on. So you just dump, okay, the text into the software, and then it will produce this word cloud. Okay, so if you go to YouTube, okay, you can find there are also tricks that we can do using Microsoft Excel, but it is not as effective or efficient if we use the real software to produce this word cloud. Okay, so and then for if you want to find, okay, unique word frequency, okay, the method, okay, is to perform words count for one occurrence per document. Okay, so this is it uses a different algorithm. Okay, so this is not probably COVID is not probably a unique word frequency. Okay, so probably it's common, but if we want to find unique word frequency, so the method is we perform word counts for one word's occurrence per document. So that is a different, okay, different measurement. Okay, for example, let's just see the implementation of the word cloud. Okay, so I took this from the internet regarding the US election 2020 word cloud. Okay, so so the red one here, okay, so it's a word cloud of what Americans have read or heard about Trump. This was taken, okay, or was being observed, okay, from the July 13 until August 9th of this year, okay, and where American, when they heard about Trump's, okay, coronavirus is the main word, okay, the main word that will remind them of Trump. Okay, so probably due to the issues of Trump, of how he handled coronavirus in the US, so that's why coronavirus, okay, it is the top word, okay, for Trump. And then for Biden, okay, so what Americans have heard or read about him, okay, from the same date, okay, is probably, I would say, vice president. Okay, so and they also know that Biden talk about maybe probably new plans of how to mitigate the coronavirus in the US probably. Okay, and then news, okay, good, and economy, so it looks more probably positive, okay, rather than talking or comparing, okay, with the word that they talk or heard about, or they read and heard about Trump's. Okay, so Trump is more popular with the issue of coronavirus. Okay, and then this one, okay, in this black box here, so it shows it represents the word frequency in the 2020 presidential nomination acceptance speeches. Okay, speeches by these two candidates. Okay, so for Joe Biden, okay, he talks more about moment, okay, nation, okay, hope, year, and love. Okay, and but for Trump, okay, he mentioned a lot about Biden, maybe because of Biden is one of his opponent. Okay, and then Joe, world, China, okay, and year. Okay, so we can, if we meaning that with this word cloud, we can see the prominence of certain word within the text. Okay, so it's one kind of interesting way, because instead of we read by our eyes, we can actually count the number of words. So by using this word cloud, so it's more appealing and we can pick up, okay, the information more faster. Okay, the second type is word tree. Okay, so word tree is a visual search tool for unstructured text such as book, article, speech, or poem. So it lets you to pick a word or phrase and shows you all the different contexts, okay, in which it appears. Okay, and then the contexts are arranged in a tree-like branching structure to reveal the recurrent themes and phrases. Okay, for example, this is a set of phrases about oxygen. Okay, so instead of reading one page of oxygen, okay, so if we represent this word tree, so we can get, okay, the overall structure, okay, of information being represented by the one whole document of one page document probably. Okay, maybe it could be 1 or 2 pages of oxygen. So if we read, okay, this word tree, okay, so we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 sentences, okay, can be represented by just a small representation of a word tree. Okay, for example, how do we read this? Okay, so this is the parent, okay, the parent of all the branches, okay, in this tree diagram. Okay, so is oxygen is a chemical element. Oxygen is a gas with no color or smell. Oxygen is a very important element. Okay, and then we have 3 sentences. Okay, the first 3 sentences to describe, okay, what is oxygen. Okay, and then the next part is oxygen is what makes burning possible. So it describes the characteristic of oxygen. Same goes to the first one here, but because it from the structure of the sentence, okay, so we can represent it, okay, more in a better structure. Okay, so oxygen is what makes burning possible. Oxygen is used where? Used in hospital for killing bacteria. And also what it is used for? It is used to purify water. Okay, and oxygen is produced by plants. Oxygen was initially discovered in 1772, and oxygen can be used in smelting metal from ore. Okay, so this is how we represent, okay, word in a tree. And then the next one is Martin Luther King's famous "I Have a Dream" speech using the search term I. So mean that from the word I, so we can branches out, okay, his speech. Okay, so by the way, who is Martin Luther King? Okay, so he was an American Christian minister. Okay, he was a spokesperson or leader in civil rights movement in 1955, okay, until his assassination in 1968. So his speech is very famous. Okay, so people, okay, people analyze his text, okay, his speech, okay, into this word tree. Okay, so the font size can use the frequency, okay, of the use of the word, okay, in the speech. So meaning that Martin, he used his sentence, okay, use more on "I have a dream." Okay, "I have a dream," it looks that is the more prominence and salience. Okay, so that is the most frequent use of context in his speech. Okay, so for example, "I have a dream that one day this nation will," "I have a dream that one day on the red," and so on. "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a," okay, and "I have a dream today," "I have a dream that one day," okay, and "I am happy," "I am not," "I must say. So this is how, okay, we can represent, okay, some text, okay, into a word tree. So you can go to these 2 links, okay, to learn further, okay, to have more description in detail about these 2 examples. Okay, so this is the last type of textual representation that is called node link diagram, and also the last slide in this chapter. Okay, so node link diagram is a type of relational network diagram to represent topic models for textual data. Okay, so come back to the first, okay, the first type of representation that we learned, okay, in the first slide. Okay, I mean in the first type of visualization in this topic. Okay, so we have learned about relational network diagram. So it is similar, okay, it's the same thing, but it is used in text representation. So it visualizes connections between named entities. Okay, so the entities are okay, the blue color are entities, okay, and the red one, okay, are the nodes, okay, all the children for that particular entities, and the link there or the line is a connection. Okay, for example, this is words found in the US newspaper headlines on the day of the first moon landing, okay, by a human being in July 20, 1969. Okay, so when Neil Armstrong, okay, is first landed on the moon. Okay, so you can go to this slide to this link, okay, to go to read further about this representation. Okay, for example, all the blue box here represent the group variable, okay, the newspapers, different newspapers in the US. Okay, and then these are the text variable, okay, where they pick up, okay, the important words that is being used in that particular magazine to describe, okay, this topic. Okay, for example, okay, the text variable there, so if it's used in more than one newspaper, so it has two links, okay, two links that connect the note, okay, with the newspaper. For example, let's take the Guardian, okay, the Guardian and Washington Post. Okay, so the Guardian, so the text was at 3:29 a.m. man steps onto the moon. So it, okay, so it captured onto here, okay, onto, and then moon here. Okay, so it's common word used by most all newspaper. Okay, so and then we have AM. Okay, so AM goes to here. Okay, and then also the time. Okay, and then because the word the, okay, the word the here, so it goes here, the, and also used by Washington Post. So the eagle has landed, 2 men walk on the moon. So I guess this is the word the that has the connection. Okay, that what makes them do connect with each other, the word the. Okay, and then Washington Post, it has eagle, okay, eagle landed, okay, and then man, okay, eagle landed man, but man is also used in New York Times. So let's see New York Times, yes, man, it has man, so that's why man here is connected with Washington Post as well, sorry, with New York Times as well. Okay, so this is because it focusing on the word used in the newspaper headlines. So this is the headlines. Okay, so they try to connect, okay, from the main, okay, the word used in the newspaper headline. So we would say that, okay, walk, okay, is probably used in most of all, okay, newspaper. For example, New York Times use walk, Boston walk, okay, Washington Post walk, and yes, 3, maybe not the most. Okay, so we can find, okay, we can find what are the common words used by all these 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 newspaper. So it looks interesting, right? Rather than reading the word. Okay, so we look at the representation, so we can see, okay, what is the most used word. Okay, and then the next one is topic model of English book, okay, by Underwood. Okay, so this is represent, okay, within a book. Okay, so the color represent, the darkest color represent the genre of the book. Okay, so in this case, heart, okay, is the darkest shade color, so it represents the poetry of the book. Okay, and then the paler color means lighter than a heart, is heart is the most colored, I mean the darkest color. And then it says here, okay, the dark blue, so it's not really dark blue, right? So it's like purple color, but it's lighter than this heart, purple color. So it is the word is cried. Okay, so it says here cried is a genre of fiction, so that dark blue color represent fiction. And then we have also light blue, so light blue of himself. Okay, so let's find where is himself. So okay, this is himself, so himself here is lighter than cried. Okay, so this represent biography. Okay, biography, meaning that the genre of the word to represent biography. And then the palest topics, or meaning that the lightest color represent generic non-fiction. Okay, So the size of the note is actually proportional to the number of tokens in the topic, and the notes are colored to reflect the genre, okay, that is prominent within the book. Okay, so for example here it captures poetry as one of the genre, and then we have what else, poetry. We have drama. Okay, so meaning that a crime is a drama in the book. Okay, drama is a scene in the book. Okay, um and then we have himself is about biography. Okay, the book explain biography about someone. Okay, and then we have the rest one, the palest color, are fiction. So sorry, are non-fiction. So non-fiction are okay, non-fiction are the non-informative, okay, text in the book. Oh, maybe I forgot to mention the word cry. Cry is a fiction. So fiction is like the story, okay, like a novel way of writing in the book. So this is another creative way that we can use node link diagram to represent, okay, the genre of a book. So I hope you can understand, okay, the different types of data visualization, okay, structure, and well done everyone. Thank you.